Greetings, misplayers. Keith here at Slight Misplay. I'm going to talk today about animated spell cards by Hit Point Press. Gosh, I am these guys. Super impressed by these. Why do you want spell cards at all? What are these things? So, you want spell cards to speed up your combats. The number one thing that slows down combat for me is people looking up spells, and it slows things down. It's just death. That's the biggest slowdown for me. It keeps combats moving quicker if you have something like cards. Now, I had the Gale Force 9 cards before. They're alright. You know, they're functional for sure. They're a little small. They feel a little flimsy. I saw these on Hit Point Press's first Kickstarter, and not their first Kickstarter, actually. I think I came late to the party on that, but when I caught wind of these are just, gosh, they're not just functional, they're fun, they're big, they contain a lot of information. We're talking about a game. It should be fun. It shouldn't be a pain to figure out which spells you want to cast or which spells you even want to select for your character. The animations on these are great. They're super cool. They're just so dynamic when you put them on the table. They're really distinctive art. They're not always just right on the money, the kind of art or animation that you would expect for the spell effect, which is nice. They have great table appeal. My kids love these. My son uses them to select his spells. My daughter, it keeps her engaged in the game by giving her spell cards. She always plays a sorceress. It's always patterned after Elsa from Frozen. She always has to, we give her Ray of Frost, we give her Burning Hands and tell her it's Icy Blast or something like that. But the cards are just so, they're just fun. It's almost like holding a little iPhone in your hand that you can look at. So instead of a player looking down at their phone the whole time, at least they can be staring at the spell and thinking about, this is something I might want to cast. Instead of having a whole bunch of, let's say, Gale Force 9. Their cards are very functional, but they're all same art. The backs are all the same. I don't know even why. I mean, I'm sure it's cheaper, but there's no reason that the spells need to be hidden unless you're a DM, in which case you have probably a DM screen. So why are you hiding it? I love that they took this opportunity to make something just really immersive and something as simple as a spell, and it makes spells seem magical, and that's what spells are supposed to be. They give you all of these spells. I think most of the spells in the player's handbook are represented. The first Kickstarter and the ones that are currently available on their website are, I believe, levels 1 through 5. 0 through 5, excuse me. I can't forget the cantrips. Cantrips super important, right? So spells 0 through 5, their current Kickstarter, just finished up. Didn't just finish up. No, I'm lying. It finished up a while ago. It's now finishing up their production and delivery. Is for the remaining spells as well as for a tarot deck and the deck of illusions. Super excited about that. I believe they're still available for pre-order on their website. If not, they'll be, I'm sure, available shortly. I'm not sure if they'll be ready for the holiday season, but these guys are. They're just so pretty. I remember when I first got these, I just started taking videos with my phone, just sending to my friends, and everybody was just clamoring for them. My friends, when I'm DMing a game, I started trying to keep things moving quicker. So at the beginning of each session, I let them select their spells out of the big stack that I have, because I've got a lot. You are going to need a storage solution and an organization solution for these. I recommend getting one of these. Get these at Staples. They're not cheap. And Hit Point Press does sell their own versions on their website. They're definitely nicer. They are themed, I think, mostly towards their own campaign worlds, like Humblewood, and there's another one, I think. So, if you like those aesthetics, it's a great solution, keeps things thematic. I don't really mind having these samey, but I did, I think, pick up on their Kickstarter. I got a lot of stuff from them. So, one of their, some thematic books, and I think, some other items to keep these organized. So you do, like, I keep telling you guys this, you got to keep your tools organized, or else you're just never going to use them. It's going to be more of a pain to bring them out than it was just not having them at all. And if you're investing in something like these, get them. Make sure you're setting yourself up to get them to the table. Most of these spells are spectacular. The artwork, they've got a lot of information crammed in here on the back side or the front side. I'm not sure which is front and which is back. It's got the casting time, the range, the duration, the components, which classes can cast them, the components for them. It also, I really like this. It's got right on the front of the card, gives you the quick hit on it. So if you want the quick dynamic card there, you can have all the information in front of you. But it's also all on the back as well as the complete spell description. What do they do with Gale Force 9? When we had cards that had an overly long spell description, they would just say, see the player's handbook, see this page. When these guys do it, they give you two spell cards with different animations on it. That's so classy. That's so cool. That's just, like, they don't have to do that, but they did. The print here is a little small, but I find it easier to read. I think maybe it's, can you see this maybe? I think it's about the same size, but maybe a different font, maybe a serif or sans serif difference there. I'm not a font guy, but I'm not really sure. But I find these easier to read. And they're bigger, so they're going to hold more information. They also, compared to the Gale Force 9 cards, the Gale Force 9 cards are laminated, but they feel cheap. They feel like the plastic coating is going to come off them. They bend easy. These are thicker. They're waterproof, and they don't feel flimsy at all. I will say, when you're holding these up to the light, they're not quite as opaque. I think this might be something to do with how they're doing the holograms or whatever they're calling these. But they're not quite completely opaque, so you can see some of the text through it. That can be a little annoying if you were under close scrutiny. Honestly, I think only if you were doing a video review of like this and really staring at these hard would that be an issue. Most of the animations are just phenomenal and evocative. There are some of them that are just subtle, that are just like the Dream card, for example, the Contagion card, the Enhanceability card. I'm just looking at a few of these here. There's just so many of them. Some of them are just subtle little effects, which are nice. It's a nice contrast, because how do you really capture a lot of these spells just in just a quick animation, like a 3-second or less animation that's just going to basically go from like 45 degrees to 180, I don't know, 90 degrees, whatever the degrees this is. I'm not just from going like this. The animations are pretty much just a small animation that go from here to here, or from your view, from here to here. I think that's supposed to be Barbarian turning into a chicken with a polymorph spell. I will say that this is one of the ones I'm not particularly thrilled about, just because it seems a little busy. You have plenty of spells to choose from. They don't all have to be completely fantastic. They're certainly a step above just looking up spells in the player's handbook, and a step above Gale Force 9's cards for sure. Another thing I got from Hit Point Press from their previous Kickstarter, I think this was actually a previous item, was the animated deck of many things. These are just freaking awesome. I mean, again, some of these I think were more of a subtle art style as well, but this just makes me want to break out a deck of many things to all of my games, and that's just, it's fun. It's it's D&D. It's one of the hallmarks of it. Let's see some of these here. So we've got these guys. This one is my favorite. Looks like the scythe for the Avatar of Death is just coming out there. The animated deck of many things basically is just like you would think if you know D&D, you know the deck of many things. It's just a randomizer for good stuff and bad stuff happening to you. Here's a subtle one here. The artwork on these is just great. It's kind of like a tarot deck, which, speaking of tarot decks, they're also, their recent Kickstarter, or the recently fulfilled Kickstarter, includes an animated tarot deck. I'm super excited to see that. Based on the art on these, I'm super excited to see what they're going to do with the Deck of Illusions. I've seen some preliminary art for that, and it's great. If these guys did animated monster cards, I'd get them in a heartbeat. What I would also love to see them do is animated magic items. I can't imagine what they would do with things like Flame Tongue, and I'm just thinking of swords right now. The Sun Sword or Sun Blade, anything like that. Vorpal swords. Their stuff is just phenomenal. So I would definitely check this stuff out. I think you can get the spells in different packs, different level packs, but if not, just the ones they have right now for the 0 to 5 level are great, and the newer ones that are coming out, hopefully they'll be coming out soon, and they'll be if they're not out in time for the holidays, maybe a birthday present for somebody, or International Tabletop Game Day, anything like that. But these are a great gift. Or just a great little add-on to bring some fun to your table. Like I said, my players, it's kind of a fight to see who can get to the table early, who can get there first, so that they get first pick if people have double spells or something. We pass around all the spells, and they grab their spell list, they grab them all out there. It makes them kind of a little more excited to give me their spell list in advance, which is nice for me as a DM, so I know what their capabilities are. I know I can plan ahead for that. So a great little add-on to your D&D game. These are all D&D 5e. All of these items, I think, are just fantastic. I would definitely check out Hit Point Press's website and see if this is something that you would enjoy, or a gamer in your life would enjoy. Most, if not all, the spells are represented from the core book. I will say there may be some that are missing. I'm not sure if there's a licensing issue there or an art issue, but they give you plenty of blank cards, not blank, just blank on the back for the description. And some of these effects you can see are kind of, okay, could this be, well, what's that counter song maybe, or I don't know, Dissonant Whispers possibly, or an arrow here with stuff, maybe that's Hail of Thorns. I think these might be their attempt to, maybe this is Minute Meteors, their attempt to get around any licensing issues and give you the animations that they know are spells. I think this is Chromatic Orb that aren't already included. Also, there are no named spells like Evard's Black Tentacles. It's just Black Tentacles. Tasha's Uncontrollable Hideous Laughter. Yes, it's still uncontrollable. Tasha's Uncontrollable Hideous Laughter is just Hideous Laughter. So they've taken off all the names. That's kind of obvious, but you know what those spells are. So overall, pretty much everything is in here. I'm not a huge casting nerd for D&D, so I wouldn't know if something was completely missing until I actually looked it up. And I'll say, I had to hunt around my house to collect all of these back to do this review, because my kids and my girlfriend are grabbing them constantly to use in game. My son, when he's making a new character, when he's grabbing spells, he's grabbing these. They make it more exciting than just reading the text in a book. This gives an evocative flavor to it, like if you were in evocation school wizard, maybe. So definitely recommend these. Check them out, and check out their other stuff as well. I think this is going to make a lot of people really, really happy when they get these, when they get the new ones, and I'm really excited to see what else Hit Point Press has to put out there for the future. That's as animated as I can be myself right now, so I hope this was helpful. Please check out their site. I'll link that in the notes below. Let me know if you have any questions. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, cast the spell, open the portal up to hell. Find me on Twitter at Slight Misplay. Wear a mask, stay home. If you're watching this before Thanksgiving, or even after Thanksgiving, eat some turkey. Yeah, socially distance, be safe. And if you want to help me out, make more and better content like this, please consider supporting my Patreon or buying me a Ko-Fi. Did I say it right that time? Thank everybody so much. If you're watching this before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And even if you're watching another time, happy Thanksgiving. Any day can be Thanksgiving. Thanks a lot, guys, and onward.